Remember, we said we are going to be using 2 to divide 13, okay? So 2 divided by 13, there will be a remainder. It will go 6, remainder 1, right? So you write 6, remainder 1. This arrow stands for remainder, okay? So remainder 1. Then we use 2 again. 2 divided by 6 is 3. Remainder 0. When you use 2 to divide 6, there is nothing remainder, right? So it's remainder 0. You write it. Then we use 2 again to divide 3. 2 divided by 3 is 1. Remainder 1. Okay? So we stop here because 2 cannot divide 1. Okay? So what we are taking is the remainder. Okay? So you start from here and move upward. Okay, do you understand? When taking, we are taking the remainder. When we finish dividing, we are taking the remainder. Okay, and when taking from the remainder, you start from here and move up. Okay, you are not taking these numbers, you are just taking from here, moving up. Okay, do you understand? So we are taking 1 1 0 1. So you write it out. So 13 in base 10 is equals to this number in base 2. Okay? Do you understand that? 13 in base 10 is equals to 1101 in base 2. Okay? This is how you convert from base 10 to other base. Do you understand? Remember, we have converted this from base 2 to base 10, right? Now I've showed you how to convert from base 10 to base 2. If you go to the previous slides, you will see that it's the same. When you converted this number from base 2 to base 10, you got this number. And now we have converted from base 10 back to base 2, we got this number. So it's correct, okay? Let's look at another example. We have here, we have to convert this number from base 10 to base 5. Okay, from base 10 to base 5. So we are going to divide 27 divided by 5. Okay, we are converting 27 base 10 to base 5. So we are going to be dividing 27 by 5. Okay, so 5 here and 27. 5 in 27, it will go how many times? Is 5, remainder 2, because 5 times 5 is 25, so 2 extra is remaining, right? Good. So 5 in 5 is 1, remainder 0. There's nothing remainder. So what do we do next? We're taking the remainder, and where are we starting from? Here, right? From here to up. Okay, so we have 102 in base 5. So 27 in base 10 is equals to 102 in base 5. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? 27 in base 10 is equals to 102 in base 5. So this is the pattern you use in converting from base 10 to another base. Okay? So here we have to convert this base 10 to base 3. We have to convert 27 base 10 to base 3. Remember, the previous slide we converted from 27 base 10 to base 5, right? So this we are going to be converting it to base 3. So we are doing what? What are we doing? We are dividing it with 3, right? So 3 divided by 27 is what? 9, remainder 0. Because 3 times 9 will give you 27. There is no remainder. So remainder 0. And 3 divided by 9, it will be 3. Remainder 0. There is nothing remaining. 3 times 3 is 9. Then 3 divided by 3 is 1. Remainder 0. Nothing is remaining, right? So what do? We are taking the remainder, right? And where are we starting from? From here. You move upward, okay? Just the remainder we are taking. So we have 1 0 0 0. base 3. Okay, so 27 in base 10 is equals to 1000 base 3. Okay, this in base 10 is this in base 3. Okay, 27 in base 10 is equals to 1000 in base 3. Do you understand? Okay, that is good. So we can now convert from base 10 to other bases, right? If you see a question to convert from base 10 to base 9, you'll be able to do that. From base 10 to base 4, I'm sure you're going to be able to do that. Okay, that is good. So next year we're looking at conversion of decimal fraction in other base to base 10. You know decimals are a form of fraction, right? So we're going to look at how to convert this number from base 2 to base 10. This is a decimal number, right? We're going to be looking at how to convert this to base 10. Okay, so when converting a decimal point to another base, you start with the whole number. Okay, when converting this decimal point or this decimal fraction to other base, you start with the whole number. You know this part is the whole number, right? So you start with this. So you first label your number. You start from here, moving to your left, okay, from the right to your left, the same way we did. But now you are focusing on this first. So you start from this number, which is before the point, okay? So here is 0 and here is 1. I hope you have written it. 0 up of 0 and 1 up of 1. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with this first. So 1 times 2, which is the base, raised to power 1, which you have here. Okay, 1 times 2 raised to power 1, plus the next digit, which is 0. 0 times the base raised to power the number up, which is 0. So 0 times 2 raised to power 0. Okay, so we are done with the whole number part, right? So we'll move over to the fraction part, the decimal part. Okay, here we label from the left to the right, and when labeling you start with -1. Okay, this is the fraction part, this is the decimal part, so you start with -1. So 1 you write -1 up, 0 you write -2 next, and 1 you write -3. Okay, when you do that, then it's the normal process you follow. 1 times the base raised to power the number you have up. Okay, so we put our plus sign, then 1 times 2 raised to power -1. Remember, this is a minus sign that you wrote up of the 1, right? You did that. So it's 1 times 2 raised to power 1, plus the next digit, which is 0, times 2 raised to power -2, which you wrote up here. So 0 times 2 raised to power 2, plus 1, which we have here, 1 times 2 raised to power -3. So plus 1 times 2 raised to power -3. Okay, have we done that? Good. So next we'll solve further. Okay, so 1 times 2 raised to power 1 is 2, right? We are now used to this process, right? Good. So we have 2 plus 0 times 2 raised to power 0 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0, so plus 0. Okay, plus 1 times 2 raised to power -1. Remember our law of indices, right? Do you remember the negative exponent law? When you have your exponent as -1, it can be seen as 1 over 2 raised to power 1, right? So this can be seen as 1 over 2 raised to power 1, right? And it's still the same thing as 1 over 2. And 1 over 2 when divided is 0.5. So you have 0.5 here. So 1 times 0.5 is 0.5, okay? Do you understand? Plus, you have here 0 times 2 raised to power minus 2. You apply the negative exponent law, okay? So here you have 1 over 2 raised to power 2, which is also 1 over 4, because 2 times 2 is 4, right? So here you have 1 over 4, sorry. And when you divide 1 over 4, what are you going to have? You are going to have 0.25, okay? And 0 times 0.25 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0, right? So here is 0 plus 0. And the next we have 1 times 2 raised to power minus 3. So it still can be seen as 1 over 2 raised to power 3. And 1 over 2 raised to power 3 is equals to 1 over 8. Okay? And dividing 1 over 8, you are going to have 0.125. Okay? Do you understand? So now it's time to add, okay? You first of all add the whole number, okay? So 2 plus 0 is still 2. So you write your 2, then you move over to the point. 0.5 plus 0 is still 0.5 plus 0.125 is going to give you 0.625. So you write out 0.625, okay? So your answer is 2.625 base 10. So this number in base 2 is the same as this number in base 10. Okay? Do you understand? This number in base 2 is still the same as this number in base 10. Okay? You understand that, right? Good. Let's look at another example. We are to convert this number from base 2 to base 10. This decimal fraction from base 2 to base 10. So what do we do first? We focus on the whole number part first, okay? The part before the decimal point. So this part, we focus on this part first. And when we label our number, we're starting from the right to the left, right? So you label 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure we have done that. Good. Then you follow the normal procedure. 1 times 2 raised to power the number you have up here. So it's 1 times 2 raised to power 4. Then the next number is 1 times 2 raised to power 3, which you have here. 1 times 2 raised to power 3 plus 0 times 2 raised to power 2, which you have. 0 times 2 raised to power 2 plus the next one, 1 times 2 raised to power 1, because you have 1 up here, okay? Then the next one, 1 times 2 raised to power 0, because you have 0 up here. Have we done that? Then we move over to the fraction part, okay, after the decimal. And after the decimal, where do we start from labeling first? From the left to the right, right? And we start with minus 1. Minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3, right? So after labeling, we continue the normal process. 1 times 2 raised to power minus 1 plus 1 times 2 raised to power minus 2 plus 0 times 2 raised to power minus 3. Okay, so have we done that? So what do we do next? We solve it more, right? So 1 times 2 raised to power 4 is what? 16, right? 2 raised to power 4 is 16, so 16 times 1 is 16, right? Plus 1 times 2 raised to power 3 is 8. 2 raised to power 3 is 8, so 1 times 8 is 8, plus 0 times 2 raised to power 2. Anything times 0 is 0. So even if 2 times 2 is 4, which we have here, 2 raised to power 4, 2 is 4. So we have 0 times 4 is still 0, so it's 0. Plus 1 times 2 raised to power 1 is still 2. Okay, plus 1 times 2 raised to power 0. Remember, anything raised to power 0 is 1. So we have 1 plus 1 times 2 raised to power minus 1. This is seen as 1 over